Hello and welcome back to our channel. We already mentioned it several times and finally time's come, and today we are going to talk about view templates. And in this video I can show you how you can transform such a messy layout in a proper way. So first, as you can see, currently we don't have any view templates selected. Also all the settings are default ones. Nothing special has been set so far. So first we're going to start from creating new view template. How you can do that? You can click on None next to your view template, and here if you will find under All Nothing, to make sure that you can create a new one, just click on Show Views and it will allow you to create a new view template based on the views that you have defined before in your project. As you can see them here. First one and second one. Also here we have a few levels. We will talk about it a bit later. So now you can just click on duplicate. I will call it pipex. Yeah, and here we're going to start from naming our view template. What is important when you create your new view template, to define some kind of structure. So for example, this view template I will create for piping layouts, or let's say I will create it for piping discipline and only for layouts, because for example for sections I would like to have a little bit different settings. So then I can click on OK. And our view template has been created. Once I will click on apply, it will apply all the settings that we had created within this view template to this one. As you can see, it was recolored. Actually, the only thing that was done, it was changed to shaded. Then as you can see, also view range was adjusted and a whole bunch of settings had been changed. And now we're going to walk one by one through each of them. Again, we go to our view template. The first will be model display. What is the model display? It allows you to simplify or to bring it to normal the way how your model will be displayed. So for example, if I click on apply, you see model became a little bit shady. Another one disappeared at all, because it was set to do not display. We're going to bring it back to normal, because we would like to see all the components that we see here. Next one will be detail model, or next will be detail level. Here we have 3 of them. Coarse, as you can see on the lines left, and if your fittings created in a proper way and other components, then you will see only the lines. In this case it was not done, so you see it like that. Then we move to medium. It gives a little bit more details about the surroundings, but not about the pipes. And then we move it to fine. And that's the level of details when we can see the actual shape of our pipes, diameters, etc. Then we go to overrides model. And what do we have here? Here we have all the categories of the components which are presenting inside of the Revit, like walls, topo solids, stairs, for example, of course, pipes, mechanical equipment, and all the components that you can find in your project. Or let's say not the components itself, but the category of the components. And then when you unfold each of them, you can see a little bit more. For example, walls have hidden lines, common edges, and all things like that. Just like, for example, pipe fittings. You can select if you would like to show center lines or you don't want to show them. And if you will click each of the components, you will see that a lot of them has special settings to be turned on or turned off, depending on your preferences. How we can override those settings. In our case, it's a piping layout, so for sure what I would like to do here, I would like to ensure that everything or all the components except pipes are very thin. And also have only black color without overriding the pattern. Then we can click on OK and can click on apply. Then again, we're talking about pipes, so I need to find pipes and associated with pipes categories, and I would like to make them thicker. I will bring it to thickness of 3, and I will keep it also with the same black line. And once I click on apply, and enable thickness of the lines, you will see that all the lines became quite thick. And again, to see all the components and all the lines that you see on this view, you need to ensure that your model display is not shaded, but at least hidden lines. And then you can use it already to prepare some drawings As you can see here, we're still missing some fine-tunings for insulation. Maybe, for example, we also would like to make equipment thicker. That also could be one of the options. What else? Yeah, I think for now it will be okay. So I'm going to modify the projection surface of the insulation. In this case, I would like to make sure that insulation is transparent. And I would like to change the color of insulation, for example. Let's make it blue. And also let's change the pattern. We can click on apply and OK. And then we can see how our model changed. Now it became look a little bit better. The only thing that I would say, we can change the line type of the insulation. I would make it a little bit, let me see, yeah, maybe this line type will be better. Yeah, so for example, this line type is a little bit better. Also here you can see that we're missing some insulation for components here and there. You can also modify it. Equipment, well, I would say we don't need to do something about the equipment, so let's keep it as it is. Then we go back to our model overrides and we will check if there is something else left. What could be the case that you used in your model some reference lines. You created secondary steel supports or any other components. And for sure you don't want to delete them. because once you delete it, then you will face some issues later with those components which were associated with those lines. And for sure you don't want to see them on those drawings. So what you can do here, you can go again to model override, but here then you need to go to annotation categories, because all the lines, dimensions, elevations, grids, etc., they lay down under the annotation category. Here we just need to find our reference plane. You can also filter it. Also, let's disable reference lines. You can click on OK, and those items will disappear, and they will not pollute your view. Also, as you can see here, you can a little bit modify your piping systems. Just as a sample, what you can do that, what you could do here, of course. Annotations you can access from this point, or yeah, there are several ways how you can navigate through that. You can navigate through those edit buttons, or you can navigate via the tabs. So it was something about annotation categories. Time to time, your view also might be polluted by analytical model categories, which usually coming from different disciplines. I don't know, HVAC, electrical, or again civil or structural. Here we also have possibility to manipulate with imported categories such as DWGs. You can disable, enable, or even manipulate with the layers of imported drawings. Then we have filters, worksets. So for example, what you can do here, you can enable or disable some of the worksets. For example, by some reason you don't want to see structural grids. So you can go here, you can go to the worksets, and you can select on hide. Nothing happened, yeah? And it's because the grids that we see right now on the screen, they're coming from the XREF or from the linked Revit file of the civil discipline. So how we can disable them? We can go back to our view template, and here we need to find Revit links. Then under the Revit links, we have several options how we can manipulate with the visibility of the components. For example, I would like to make sure that all the structural part is shady. So our primary focus is piping here. So to me it looks quite okay. With one exception, grids, of course, they shouldn't be visible like that. But again, right now we're exercising the case where we don't want to see grids. As you can see here, nothing is also presenting. You can modify every single Revit file loaded via adjusting its display settings. Here right now we have option by host view, so it utilizes the same settings that we have here, but I would like to modify it. So in this case, it will be annotation categories. Of course, as you can see, it's disabled because under the basic, we need to select custom. Then we need to go to annotation categories. Then again, under annotation categories, we need to select custom. And under the custom, we need to find grids. And we can click on apply, click on OK. again apply, and again OK, and apply. And all the structural grids disappeared. Simple like that. And just in case if you still would like to keep those grids visible in your model, you can disable them for a second. Then you can go to collaboration view, copy and monitor, select link. You need to select link, and then you can copy all the grids. To your model. Click on finish. Then when you select the grid. Ah, wait. Yeah, I did it wrong. Multiply or multiple. Then you can select all of them at once. And then you can just click on finish. Elements has already been copied. That means they were copied before. Let me see. Yeah, we do not see them because we disabled them in worksets. Use global settings. Apply, OK, apply, OK. Yeah, now those grids are visible. And we can freely disable them inside of the linked model. As in my project, I don't have any styles defined for grids. I mean, of the bubble, for the bubble of the grid. Or let me at least give it a check. Oh no, actually I have something defined, of course. Or, well, yeah, you know how it goes. You never know. Then here we already gave a look to model display, but we can modify it and then it will impact our plan view. Here you have a little bit more settings, but usually for layouts you will not use them. Maybe in some limited applications. As well as shadows, sketch lines. Then what's important is the view range. So you can set it as a template, and this view range will be applicable to every view to which you will apply this view template. As you can see, it was changed slightly. Then we have here possibility to change the orientation of the view depending on how your project was set up in terms of coordinates. Then face filter, or depending on your settings and how you created your model, you can set on this layout you will see only certain face. For example, all of it was modeled as new, so there are no surprises that it will be visible. But for example, if I will change it to previous and demo, everything will disappear, because nothing out of it has this face defined. Then we have discipline. It has impact on the way how your components are displayed. You can immediately see how it looks like in terms of when it comes to equipment. And even it affects more components and its rendering. by playing with that, you can define which one is the best for you. I would say when it comes to piping, in 99% of the cases, I use coordination. It just gives you the average view quality. I think it's more than enough. Show hidden lines, background, color scheme. We already discovered how color scheme works in the previous video. So for example, I can do it again just to show you that theoretically you can also do it like that. You can also add some colors to show or to distinguish which system and where, but in this case I will make it a little bit different. I will make it as per system type. Well, actually this project, it has quite a lot of system types, so it will not be that helpful, but still. Here is the system type. Yeah, that's what I meant. We have quite a lot of them here. Yeah, that was coloring scheme. Then we have depth clipping. You can play also with this. Depending on what do you have on your view, you will have some result. In our case, there is nothing to clip. Or at least we cannot recognize it from this view. So I will move it back to no clip. Yeah, of course we haven't covered scale, but I think, yeah, well, scale. Once you change the scale, it will affect the size of every annotation that you have on your layout. I think that's it. By the way, recently we created a LinkedIn page. You can follow us and leave a message if you have any kind of questions. How to find us? You can use one of the links in the description of the channel. You can find them here. And again, thank you for watching and see you in the next video.